This is Fido Friendly Travel Talk. Here's your host, Susan Sims.
Hey everybody, it's Susan Sims with Fido Friendly Travel Talk, brought to you by Animal Radio, where we talk about the travel and lifestyle for you and your furry best friend. My guest today is Shannon Keith, founder of Beagle Freedom Project, the world's leading organization for rescuing and rehoming animals used in experimental research. Hi, Shannon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's more than my pleasure. This is important stuff we're going to talk about today. So let's start out with the Beagle Freedom Project. Why did you start it? When and why? I guess those are the two questions.
Yeah, sure. So I started Beagle Freedom Project in December of 2010. And I started it because I was alerted about these beagles who were in an animal testing facility. And there was a woman there who was desperately trying to get them out of the facility before they closed for the holiday. What this facility would do is that before they would close for the Christmas holiday season, the New Year season, they would simply kill all the beagles that they had and then purchase new beagles when they came back after the new year. And she was begging the facility to please let her adopt these beagles out instead. And she did convince this laboratory to do that, but she had nobody to take them. And somehow I got the word about this, and I was so excited because in my world, being an animal rights attorney and having my heart in vivisection, I never ever thought that I would be able to rescue animals from a laboratory. And so there were two beagles who I was able to rescue, named Freedom and Bigsby, who completely changed my life and turned my world upside down. And Beagle Freedom Project was born that day.
That is amazing. That almost makes me cry. So we need to get through this before that happens. So for the listeners who have not heard about the heroic rescue efforts of BFP and the Ridglan Farm breeding facility, tell us, why were the beagles rescued from there?
So yeah, for those who don't know, Ridglan Farms is the second, or was, yay, was the second largest breeding facility in the United States of beagles to be sold to animal testing facilities. The first largest is called Marshall Bioresources. So Ridglan Farms had thousands of beagles who were being kept in tiny cramped cages. Some look like bunny hutches. They're being bred over and over again to be sold into the animal testing pipeline. They did also have an animal testing license, and they did some testing there as well. So just like every other animal we rescue from animal testing facilities, they needed to be rescued. What was going on was wrong, and they had been the subject of many violations for many years. Unfortunately, the USDA doesn't do much, even though there would be violation after violation. There were several whistleblowers who worked there who caught horrific things on camera and had documented evidence, but nothing was being done. It takes the brave actions of activists and people who will speak up and finally push for the right thing to do. And that's what finally happened. It was a tipping point, and Ridgeland had to be put on blast, and people took action to finally free these beagles and get this place closed down once and for all.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how many did you rescue, and what kind of operation was it? How long did that take?
Yeah. So Ridgeland at the time had over 2,000 beagles. And so we were in negotiations with Ridgeland to release all of their dogs at first. And so initially, when we went in, Beagle Freedom Project oversaw the release of 500 beagles. And it was a multi-day process. It was going in with, various transport vehicles with our team, going into the facility, getting the beagles, having to carry them out, bringing them to a triage center, having veterinarians care for them, and then waiting for, their fosters who we had, adopters, or our rescue partners. Ultimately, there are still beagles there. Ridgeland is still open. It's officially closing probably at the end of the summer. But we got over 1,500 out, and there will be at the end over 2,000 out.
Wow. That's amazing. So now you have these beagles. So you've got your pipeline, like you mentioned, you've got everything. They're going to get vet checked. They're going to, uh, have everyone look at those before they go to a foster or an adopter. So what happens? Like that's a process in itself. So once you have that, I can imagine you probably have people already waiting, right? They're waiting to help. They're ready to foster or adopt. So what happens then? How tell us the process of that for these wonderful people who step up.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And I have to say, we could not do what we do without the amazing people who foster and adopt these amazing animals. While it is so life-changing and amazing to foster and adopt them, it's also not that easy. These dogs are traumatized. They have severe PTSD. They were born in a cage. They grew up in a cage. They didn't get to do the things that puppies get to do when they're teething and when they get to play and socialize. They don't know how to be a dog. Um, Many of them are older. They're 8 to 10 years old. They've been used for breeding their whole lives. So, it's a process that people have to learn and the dogs have to learn together. And that's what makes it such a wonderful, life-changing journey for everybody. And so what we do is we have thousands of people who apply, literally, not just in the United States, but from all over the world, who are desperate to want to change the lives of one of these wonderful dogs. And we have a great rescue team here at Beagle Freedom Project who has a very strong process, to make sure that everything is done correctly, because we've been doing this for so long. We know what we're doing. And we interview families. We go through an agreement with them. We do reference checks. We do home checks. They always get a GPS collar. We always do fostering first, that we can stay with them. We're 24/7 on call with them, and we do all the veterinary care while they're in foster care too, to make sure that everything's okay before they're finally adopted.
That's amazing. And I think listeners, if they go to bfp.org, and there's videos out there, that's life-changing in itself when you see them on grass for the first time.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they haven't walked on grass, especially these dogs that we got out of Ridglan. The pads of their paws were so swollen and infected. Many of them had to have like severe medical treatment. And they've been having to soak in Epsom salts and waters like day in, day out. So having them take their first steps on gentle, soft grass was a tearjerker for sure. Yeah, they didn't know what that felt like. They've been living in crates.
Yeah, that's the blessing that they finally get to do what dogs do. So before I let you go, is there anything else you would like our listeners to know? And where's the best place where they can find out more information?
They can find more information at bfp.org, as in Beagle Freedom Project. Beagle, sorry. They can find out more at bfp.org.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. And we're always open to anyone who wants to volunteer for us, help us in any way, shape, or form. We know we're a nonprofit, so of course donations help. And please sign up to foster or adopt.
Well, keep doing the good work. What do they say? It's dogs' work.
Thank you. And thank you for giving them a voice. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Susan.
That's it for Fido Friendly Travel Talk. You've been listening to my guest, Shannon Keith with Beagle Freedom Project. You can learn more at their website, bfp.org. And for more information about today's show or just about traveling with Fido, log on to fidofriendly.com. Until next time, travel safe and leave no dog behind. This is Susan Sims with Fido Friendly Travel Talk.